Hey, this is Paul, and happy Friday. I want to get into this. This is my giant TV channel, and the main purpose here is to guide, help, and teach you, and hope you walk away with some useful tools. And I work with executive coaches, Vistage chairs, business owners on the growth and nurture of their businesses, identifiable and repeatable processes. I've been building my businesses for 14 plus years. So I'm like you in the trenches every day, growing, building, and so forth. So this is something that happened recently. And I just thought it'd be very valuable to pass this along because when good things happen, and bad things happen in my dealings with clients, I try to get that out there so that you can, learn from it and get something from it. So this was a response that came from a campaign that we were doing. It's a weekly, so I call it a scalpel approach campaign. This is an email campaign that went out, and I was working with a client. Happens to be a Vistage chair, but we're co-creating the conversions here and working together. And this was the response we got. Love these things, and this came after a single email that we worked on together. I wrote the copy for it, and just very strategic. And this is awesome. And so this was an A-list lead, and they're getting on a call. And what I want to do is talk about how we got to this point, and I want to show you the process here. Okay, so here's one of the areas that I'm focused on, and that is doing LinkedIn campaigns. It's a piece of what you and me and all of us need to build and nurture our practices. If you're only doing LinkedIn campaigns or any campaigns, if you're only cold calling, if you're only doing email campaigns, bubblegum and toothpicks, you got to have all the things rounded out there. But for this example, let's go with a LinkedIn campaign. So here's how this thing came about. You're doing outreach on LinkedIn. You can automate that, you can scale that. And when you do this and you reach out, really broadly, two things are going to happen. And this is true with really any outreach campaign, is you're going to have an inbox. So people are going to come into your inbox. And we're using a dashboard and that connects to LinkedIn. It's great. But whatever you're doing, your inbox, you're going to have people that respond and say things in your inbox. You're going to be handling that. In this case, the client's handling the responses, and humans are saying whatever humans say when you're reaching out to connect and get into conversations. So you handle that. We all get that. There's another area here where people connect, but they don't say anything back. And even if you have some automation going out with messages, the messages are great, crafted properly. People get busy. Maybe they missed it. Who knows why they don't respond? Maybe they're not that active on LinkedIn. But whatever the case is, they did take a physical action. They lifted their hand and they connected with you. It is not nothing. They're in your pipeline. Now, obviously, they're cold, but they're in there. They did something to engage with you, so you can't ignore them. So now what happened here in this instance, and this is what we're doing, is all of those people from the inbox, from the connections that haven't replied, they're going on a master lead list. And that lead list has information on there. In this case, we're collecting revenue and headcount that this client needs. But email, name, LinkedIn URL, but it's going on a master sheet that everybody's looking at. This is a Google sheet. And so this is a great thing to have for anybody, no matter what you're doing, is you've got to have your master lead sheet. It's your pipeline. And on there, you have your active pipeline of people that you've engaged with, that you're trying to move forward. This is huge, because if you're not organized with your lead list and your pipeline, then the whole endeavor of building just is going to be broken. It's going to be inefficient. So I think this goes without saying. Have your master lead list, know who those people are, know where they are in the process, and move them forward. But in this case, we had a master lead list. And then what we're doing is with these new connections, Zoom call, that's the call to action in this case. Maybe you have a different call to action, but I think a lot of us have, let's do a call, and Zoom is a good one, is that now how are you going to get them on a Zoom? And this is a problem we all have, right? People are connecting and people don't respond, people ghost, all these things, but you got to convert. And so when you're moving people through your conveyor belt pipeline, moving along the conveyor belt, you want them to become a client, there's different tranches there that you've really got to own, be aware of. They're nuanced in how to move people beyond them. This is a big one, getting somebody on a call. We're all dealing with that scenario. And there's just our strategies, tools, best practices to make that happen. The right copywriting of what you say, how you even deliver the message. For example, you can send a video email, a regular email, LinkedIn messages, we all know. But in this case, what happened to get to that point is really got into the trenches with this client, said, okay, you got this great lead list, these people connected, we've double qualified these people for revenue, headcount. So everyone is in agreement. You want to talk to these people. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, great. So the strategy was email went out with very specific language that is not pitchy at all. If you connect and pitch, good night, Irene. Everyone's doing that. There's a place for that in certain areas of your building out of your practice, but you got to be very careful about that. It's not how I've ever done business. I don't like it, but you want to build relationships. And so this email that went out in this particular case is all about relationship oriented, telling this prospect in the email a little snippet of the background of this Vistage chair. He's got an incredible background, incredible work history. You got to add some legitimacy to who you are. Now, you're not just some hack out there reaching out. So you have that in there. You say the words in a certain way. And the idea is that you need to get on a conversation with this person and you hype them up enough. It's not pitchy. There's a way to break down that barrier where everyone thinks they're going to get pitched on this first call. So you break that all down. And it's not a long email. This is a very tight, concise email. And the structure is methodical the way I write these things. And it is tailored for, obviously, the client that sent it out. So now this email goes out, and the subject line of the email is important. Got to make sure that subject line is personalized. Never, ever using the phrases following up, checking in. You are dead if you use those things. That's going to kill the interaction. And so there are things to say other than that. But so the email goes out, send it. Boom. Let's say you carve out 10 people for the week or 15 or 20. You send this out individually, one by one. It's not a huge time-sucking endeavor. So the email goes out, strategic. Right after you send the email, a LinkedIn message goes out. Maybe they don't see the email. Maybe they miss it. Maybe it goes to spam. Maybe they're busy. Who knows what? But maybe they see the LinkedIn message or vice versa. So you send both for this touch, and the LinkedIn message refers back to the email. You really want somebody to go look at that email and alert them that you sent it. So you say enough in the LinkedIn message where you can convert them to a call there, but you also are referring back to the email. So there's a strategy there. I want to say too on the email, your email signature is important. That whole thing with the email has got to look very tight. The subject line, the body of the email, your signature, always have a photo there. Always have a photo. It humanizes the email. When they see a picture, make sure your picture is tight and good and all that. But that email's got to be tight. So that is the touch. Email, strategic, LinkedIn message. You're done. Set an alert that you sent it, a reminder you need to follow up in case they don't, reply. Then you go on to the next one, and the next one, the next one. So let's say you carve out 10 people to do this for the week. This is not a huge time thing. It is very strategic, and that email, that response that you saw there, is it. This is what happened. Now this is great, and you get your stats there, and then the next week, we're talking. Okay, what happened? You sent out 10. You responded. What did they say? Okay, this is the next thing to say. Here's how you move them forward. If they didn't respond, here's what you do next. So you just keep this going, make it part of your identity. Do this every week. Not a huge time-sucking thing. Block time, get it done, and the results will happen. So I want to say too here that I do a lot of this education. Anytime somebody's watching this or takes the time to check it out, happy to get one-on-one with you. This is how you do it. Text GIANTHELP to that phone number, and we can get on a Zoom. Love hearing about your business. I love seeing what's going on, what's working, what's not. Very good call. Happy to do that. You're busy, I'm busy, but I will take the time to do it. We're connected and so forth. So, all right, that's it. Hope you got a good takeaway. See you next time.